we have the given, we have the proof. Who can tell me the stuff we know? What can we put in our chart, our two columns?
For the first box, you can put the given in it.
Right. So we can say angle 1 and angle 3 are supplementary. And you know what? These are going to have the same reason, right? So I'm just going to stick them on the same line. And angle 2 and angle 3 are supplementary. And Mickey, why?
No, they together they equal 180.
Just why?
Oh,
What goes
it's
up
your
here?
given.
Yeah, that's my given. But yes, the stuff you just said also is true. We just got to get to that, right? What's the other thing I can write down in this proof? Anastasia? Yeah. Where does it go? The very last box, my proof. I have to get to here, right? That should be my last statement. So first, last. And now I got to figure out how to get there. Okay? So I know where I start, I know where I'm going, I just don't know the route I need to take yet. Okay? But I do know that every step needs to be based on the one before it. So if I know that 1 and 3 are supplementary, what do I know about those two?
They equal 180.
Right, if I add them together, they equal 180. And again, you got to remember with proofs, it's even though you know, like in your head, you know exactly how this is going to go. The reason 1 and 2 are equal is because they both have to equal 180 with this third angle. But you've got to go slow and describe it step by step and prove each step. Okay, that's the hardest part about a proof is you got to kind of slow your mind down so that you're just doing one step at a time and proving it. So you're right. The measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 3 is equal to 180. And what's the other one? Yeah, 2 and 3. Measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3 equals 180. Okay? Rebecca, why do you think that is? What's our justification for saying this? Absolutely. Definition of supplementary angles. Good job. Okay? Now, I'm always keeping my eye on the prize. I'm always knowing that I've got to get down to this. Okay? So I'm looking for a way to take this and rearrange it, move it around so that angle 1 is on the left and angle 2 is on the right. Okay? Right now, angle 1 is on the left and angle 2 is on the left. So somehow, I'd like to get this and move it over on that side. Anybody come up with any clever ways of doing that? You know?
You can say just substitute like substituting the measurement.
For what? Wait. Stuff that you said was right?
I think you're like 90% right. I think you just kind of got confused.
So you're right. You're going to substitute. Tell me what you're going to substitute. For what? What's it equal to? What can I swap in? Right. Remember Mrs. Weaver's basketball example. If two things are equal, it's like they're the same position on the basketball team. So we got two guards here. Angle 1 and angle 3 and 180. They're two things. So I can take out 180, put in 2 and 3, or take out 2 and 3 and put in 180, and they would both work, right? They'd both be our excellent point guards. So I can take out, if I want to move it over to the right, since these are equal, I can take out this 180 and put this in its place. Does that make sense? So whenever I see, like when two things are equal to the same thing, that should send off warning signals in your brain, fireworks, whatever, that, hey, I bet you they're going to want me to do some substituting here. Whenever they tell me that two things are equal to the same number or the same angle or the same segment, that's a signal that they're going to want me to substitute. Okay? So I'm going to, since these two are both equal, I'm going to take out this 180 and replace it with this. Does that make sense, everybody? So what's my sentence going to be? Michael, what's my final sentence going to be? How's it going to start? Measure of angle 1 plus 2 is equal to, well, remember because these two are equal, they can be substituted. So we took out 180 and replaced it with what? Exactly. Good. Okay? And I probably said the word like 6 times, but why can I do that? Yeah, substitution. Po or poc? Oh, good.
It'll be angle 1 plus angle 3 equals 2 plus 3.
Yes. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah, because it'll make the next step much, much, much harder. Okay, now remember, remember I'm still trying to get 1 by itself on the left, 2 by itself on the right. So I've got 1 here, but that's there, right? And I've got 2 on this side. What can I do to get rid of everything other than the 1 and the 2? Michaela, what do you see? What's messing us up here? Why can't, yeah, because isn't it on both sides? How would I do that? How do you take it out? Exactly, we subtract it. Because it's being added, so I can just subtract it. Subtract the measure of angle 3 from there and from there. Okay? And they cancel, those cancel, so I'm left with the measure of angle 1 on this side and the measure of angle 2 on that side. I'm so close. And why can I do that? Subtraction, po or pop? Po. Subtraction, po. Okay? Now, I'm not sure I even need this box.
No, you know the answer.
Okay.
Tell me, what's your thinking? What's your thought process here?
Like change the equal sign to a congruent sign by like doing this stuff to change settings for now.
And what step changes equal to congruent?
I'm not sure. All I know is because
It's in your notes. Remember we talked about it, and I made you circle it and highlight it.
the definition of congruent.
What are we talking about? Angles, segments.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your reason here?
Definition of congruent angles. I always say, like, if that's your tool chest for building proofs, okay, that's all your tool belt. This is like the duct tape. This will be good. This is useful for all kinds of stuff. You'll use it in lots and lots of proofs. All right, so you've got to. It's just so important to remember. But anytime, if you look, the only difference between these two statements is equal and congruent. Just that symbol. Whenever that's the case, that's the reason.
I think we've told you every single day when you go from equal to congruent or congruent to equal, you're going to use definition of congruent and whatever you're talking about, angles or segments.
Okay? Does that make sense? Feel accomplished that we finished this? All right, so this is what we're going to do.